Okay, I think seeing a lot of clients um, and realizing the model that I had wasn't sustainable in as much as it was draining me too much. And also realizing that certain things I'd been taught didn't seem to be borne out in actual one-to-one client work. Many of us get taught the old, oh, hypnotize them deeply enough, everything will be fixed, and this technique works every time. And you start to realize that maybe I've just accepted it works rather than understanding how it works or why it works. And as I started to break down what do I think actually is going on here, I started to realize the models that I'd been given weren't necessarily true, or certainly didn't seem to be. So I needed to work with a model that I felt would be effective in terms of all encompassing. So it also incorporates the times when people don't seem to respond, or when we hit those difficulties. And it isn't just about, oh, they need to be more deeply hypnotized. That was what I was told, and it's not true. Simple as that. And I think anyone that, when you get into this little bit more experience, you suddenly realize there's certain things that certain hypnotherapy models regard as true that don't seem to be true in real life. So that's what caused it to come about, is that I needed a model that incorporated all the potential barriers I was hitting and all the potential objections from the client, all that sort of thing. So it just came from me putting to the test what I'd been taught, and just keeping the stuff that I knew that it worked, why it worked, and how it worked. Because then anything that comes out of left field, I'll know how to incorporate it because I understand all the aspects of what I'm doing. The other thing that I hated, I didn't like the client coming back and say it didn't work. Yeah, and I don't, don't get me wrong. Most of the time, they come back and they say, "Yeah, it's worked." And if we do a follow-up session, yeah. But those times when they said it didn't, I didn't like that. So the model that we work with control, it eradicates that completely. You don't have the "it didn't work." Yeah, it's either complete or it's incomplete. And we teach practitioners how to shift that framework so that it's about the client knowing where they are on the change journey, if that makes sense. It sounds a bit, but that's what I'm thinking of there. When we know where they are, we'll know how to get them to the end of that journey, or certainly to where they want to be on that journey. And I think that's the thing that I like about working this way. It's a collaborative approach, and it's a process. Um, if they're not complete, if it's not complete when we're seeing that, right, let's do what we need to do to complete it. So it takes away all of those potential, from talking to other hypnotherapists, I recognize this potential anxieties around the idea that it didn't work. Yeah. And that's really where it comes from. It's just necessity. I needed to do something that was more real world relatable, in terms of how the layperson walking in off the street relates to what we're doing. And that's why I think it's so effective, probably because it's a little bit more relatable for the average person in the street.